Welcome everyone. This is Duck Taco. Duck Taco spawned from YouTube. Suspending my channel that I usually do this stuff on, and unfortunately for them, I have many other options. Obviously, I don't have the subscribers here, but this is where the videos will go, and they will also end up on Media Odyssey when Media Odyssey returns to its former glory. So, what we're going to do is we are going to do part 2, because part 1 is out there, of the Hunter Biden laptop. Let me send out a little notice on the internet, just in case. I know no one's coming in here, and no one gives a crap about Duck Taco. But you know what? You should. If you look at the last video that was put up, Interstellar Burst, it's you might recognize the background video of the song. It's this song. Let's see. Let me play on my iPad. I am in the blur, but the song is playing. There you go. And you see Mr. Tucker Carlson. Tony Bobolinsky. So, Duck Tacos are pretty cool. Oh, it says Duck Taco is live. Duck Taco is live right now. They're right. Wow, YouTube got something right, huh? So anyway, let's get back to the crux of the situation. Okay, let's see what's going on. What are we gonna find here? I guess I left off with this picture about a wire transfer. Pictures of, let's see, is Hunter in this picture with children? Let's see. Who is this? It's all I'm seeing right now to me is 3, maybe 4, no, 3 young children. The lady in the middle, I'm not sure who she is, but she has those eyes. What does it say in the back there? I'm trying to look for the background stuff. This is some sort of store, obviously clothing store. Right here, see, I don't like this. This looks like kids' legs. I know all the stuff like that has been taken out of this, so. But we do want to find the other debauchery, the other stuff. Like, see these random pictures of. Who takes pictures like this? The guy's sitting alone in his car, smoking crack, and then taking pictures of the smoke when he blows it out. Now, okay. So Haley Biden has been a member since 2001, but it looks like Robert Hunter Biden has only been a member since recently, and I wonder why. Probably because he couldn't get a credit card before then. Why did I press that? Okay, yeah, that's actually what I wanted to do. Netflix, let's see. Things my father taught me. Look at that picture that they've obviously photoshopped to make Joe Biden look like he doesn't have any spots. Look how long his forehead is. And then, of course, we know everyone in my world knows about the ears. That Joe Biden seems to have two different sets of ears. It's like he gets woken up, someone changes his diaper, they bring him out to go poo-poo and pee-pee. He comes back inside, and then he gets to pick which ears he wants to wear, the ones that connect to his head and the ones that don't, because he seems to have both, depending on the day. Check it out for yourself. Alright, let's see. Wow. Is there a date on this? Not the date from the picture. So, you could download all these photos. This is such a great thing to have. Marco Polo again. Thank you very much. Where is this? What country are we in here? Let's click that. No, let's do this. No, we don't want to go closer. Okay, we want to come out more. Uh-oh. Kosovo. War-torn countries and the Bidens. I mean, they just go hand in hand, don't they? Let's be honest. Am I out of line for saying that the Bidens have way too many connections with countries that need help from America, and one of the Bidens happened to be the vice president, and now somehow overnight went from a devastating loss to being the president. This guy right up here, the one who literally is and does every single thing that the mainstream media said Donald Trump is and did, is what this man has done. He has lived his whole life as claiming to work for us, doing nothing. When the joke came out that it was 47 years of him working for the government and nothing got done or whatever, that was a good joke because it was true, and all jokes have a hint of truth in them. But now he's in the White House, and you're just adding years to the same joke because nothing is happening. Anything that does happen, he has no idea what's going on. If you believe for 1 second, and I'm sure all different kinds of people are going to see this video eventually. Right now, obviously, unfortunately, because of YouTube and their censorship, not many are going to hear my words at the moment, but you will hear them eventually. You tell me, well, first of all, I'm going to ask a couple questions, and if anyone does happen to watch this, please comment and answer these questions, no matter what side you're on or how you feel about it. First question. When you look at the facts, when you look at, and yes, of course, Dinesh D'Souza is a biased person. He was wrongfully imprisoned by Barack Obama, which is one of the things that they claimed Donald Trump was going to do this kind of stuff to people, reporters and this and that, which he calls them fake news and whatever, but he never had any of them arrested or anything like that. A lot of that stuff happens with the Biden. They take people out of the room. They obviously the diversity hire they have in the at the podium, she doesn't answer questions. Joe Biden doesn't answer any questions whatsoever. Also, I guess the point I was getting at is, if anything gets done, if any sort of bill passes that might help, or I doubt help is doubtful, but that even just changes anything. Like the problem is, and one of the greatest points that the Republicans have is that the Democrats had all the power. They could have signed bills that said everyone in the country has to cut off their left foot and eat it. They could have. That's how much power they had, and they did nothing. They did nothing. And right now, there's a man with a weed whacker right straight ahead for me. And there it is. Is my timing impeccable with this kind of stuff or what, guys? All right. Close one of the 3 open windows. Let's get back to the Biden labs. Oh, yeah, I was asking a question. Do you really believe in 2020, after all of the campaigning that Donald Trump did and all the people that were showing up for him, everywhere he went, not only was it packed, the outdoors was packed. They had to sometimes rent out like the little theaters and arenas locally to fit all the people that wanted to come see Donald Trump on his campaign trail. Joe Biden had a few instances where he was even outside at all. And one of them was at, I believe, I forgot, let's just say it was IKEA, at an IKEA dealership where they used all the cars that were parked there to look like people were social distancing and staying in their cars. But as a minute went on, I mean, because everyone's skeptical of anything they do. As you know, after a minute passed, everyone who saw this realized no one's in those cars. He's talking to no one. Is he even there? Which ears is he wearing today? I mean, okay, so do you really think that a man who didn't even campaign? I don't care what they did with Trump for 4 years. Now, if you go look, and especially in the minority community, if you look at James Klug, or Klug, I forgot how you pronounce it, Klug, go look at his videos. All right, they're starting too much. Go look at his videos where he interviews all different kinds of people from inner city, and he asks them, you know, what do you think about Donald Trump, Joe Biden? Who are you going to vote for if it becomes down to the 2? And they all say Trump, all of them. And they said, you know what? We thought Trump was this, we thought Trump was that. But when you, what did the guy say? Basically, what this guy said was, hey, my whole community was just listening to someone who claims to be the leader of the community. You know, they have, like for instance, in the black community, since I grew up in a black community, right? This is how things work. They have a Barack Obama in the area, a community organizer, and that person, I'm not saying they're stupid. Don't take me out of context, but the African American population is the easiest to sway. So basically, they say the guy comes in. Let's say his name's Pastor Bill. All right, Pastor Bill's in the Bronx. He walks around talking to the people because he knows everyone in the area, but he's got the agenda. He's been given money. You know, you could always follow the money. You'll see that all these organizers are getting paid by certain groups, and they'll say, "Well, I wasn't paid by the DNC." Well, of course you weren't, because the DNC then paid Robbie, who then paid you. That's all. I mean, that, and then you could say, yeah, I didn't get paid by the DNC. Of course, no, you didn't. You got paid by Robbie, but DNC gave Robbie the money to give to you. You know, that's all that happened. So now these are community organizers. Whenever you hear the word community organizer, what you should do is grab your things, whatever you have around you, put them inside of some sort of moving vehicle, and get the fuck away from the area that has a community organizer that most of the community listens to. Because that man will take a $10 bill out of your hand and then go around and spread the word that you just asked him to spread for $10. I'm not saying $10 literally, but you understand that when you have someone who has such reach in a community, and I'm sorry I'm going through this during but this has to do, this is all Biden stuff. We're going to go through the laptop. We got to talk about this guy, though. We cannot allow our country to falter any further than it already has. Now, back to James Klug. Because I totally forgot what I was just saying. He goes around these neighborhoods and asks people, hey, all right, when were you or your family better off? Yesterday or in 3 years ago on this same day? And everyone knows the answer to that question. It wasn't yesterday, that's for sure. So, you know, most of them already know. See, that's the thing, that the mainstream media, that's why we need people on the internet, and that's why I'm trying to get myself out there, because I'm not scared of these people. I have nothing to lose. They can't take anything from me. So I will say whatever the fuck I want, and they're going to fucking have to deal with it. And if they don't want me to hear it, they're going to block me, I'm going to pop up somewhere else. So you know what? You might as well leave well enough alone, because I'm not going anywhere. And if I'm going to become a political prisoner, I have, well, I don't want to call it that. Let's just say if I ever get arrested, or if anyone ever comes after me for speaking about the truth, I have people waiting in the wind for that, just in case, because it's happened. I've been. This isn't the place to talk about this, but in 2017 I was targeted. I worked for a company, a group, organization, that I guess you would say the left wing was not very happy with, although this specific organization wasn't going after the left wing. It just happened to be that left wing organizations and left wing people are usually the ones who are doing the you know, crappy shady deals and breaking the law behind everyone's back. They're usually the ones that are smiling in your face and then turning around and calling you a cunt. You know, those are the people. So anyway, I was working for something like that. I got some information on my local my local where I vote locally, right? I got some information about our DA in the area, and handed it over to proper people. And then after that, I started getting pulled over. And you know, I support the police. I have a video up on my Media Odyssey channel where I have a whole stack of thin line flags that are available. They're free if you want one. If it costs me anything to send it to you, I would just ask that you pay for that, and that's it. But yeah. Anyway, so do you believe that a man who didn't campaign, who took on the vice president because of the color of her skin, there were 26 people who ran for president on the Democrat side that year, and he picked the one who was in last place out of all 26 to be his vice president. Now, does that make sense to you guys, or does that sound like an inside job to destroy what we have going on in this country? It sounds like the second one, and it also, a couple years into it, has proven itself to be the second one. So, I mean, where do we go from here? Well, I'll tell you where we go. We go to see what Hunter Biden's been doing behind everyone's backs, living the life of luxury while we are all struggling. Let's see, these are 5 pictures. Okay, let's scroll down a little here. I keep seeing these same kinds of, like, this one, like the butt. Like, this man is very, and I'm sure the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm very sure of it. We've heard of stories of Vice President, well, we like to call him former Vice President JB, harassing the wives of the Secret Service at his own home while his wife was there. We sexually, I'm not gonna say he sexually assaulted anyone, but that is what someone did say, that he was very touchy and basically said that, looked at any security or Secret Service or whatever and said, hey, well, what are you gonna do about it? Now, this is what I don't like to see right here. I'm not sure which kid that is. I don't really care. This man should be nowhere near any children. Okay. Let's go down here. Let's see, Robin Frick. I wonder who Robin Frick is. Finnegan Biden, 2 unknown attachments. Robin, why is it sideways? Harry Rim. This you, buddy? Harry Rim. I'm gonna start taking notes on this stuff. Because I'm gonna see if you guys, I don't know how do I put this. If you guys know me, or if you guys start to get to know me, if you watch Devil's Joint, which is my hockey sports channel, if you watched Media Odyssey, and now of course Duck Taco, there's also Dilbert's Right. All of these channels, if you know me, I like to do deep research. So when I see something small, I don't always believe it to be small. So I'm going to write down these names, not Finnegan Biden. See, I take notes on these things. I have many books here. I'm going to write down, see, I got Adelson Light. That's another name. I'm going to be right there. Alright, so we got Robin Frick. Gonna look into these people, see what's going on. The Tony Bobolinsky interview is up on this channel if you'd like to watch it. He basically just came out. Everyone forgot about it somehow. He came out before the election, said how the Bidens were corrupt, what they were doing. Like, he has all the proof. He had to go into witness protection because when the Clintons were involved, and when they're involved, people end up growing extra long arms, and then they end up taking a shooter, if you want to call it, and putting it to the back of their own head, and then firing more than once. Not once, but twice. Now, if that makes sense to you, God bless your soul. Why is it every time I click it? Yesterday when I clicked it, wait, we got a new picture. Alright, but I do want to see, like, what's going on here. Like, what's this? I know it's feet, but why is there a picture of them? Whose are they? Are those kids' feet? It looks like it. And it's from what is it? Where is the destination? Oh my God, he's in the. Ugh. He's by me when this happened. And what else was he doing over by me? What's this? Is this Long Island too? Yeah. So let's see. Let's do. I'm sorry. I know these are kids, but I'm trying to. Yeah, I think I see it. I think I saw it. There it is. Look. There they are. I found them. This guy's taking pictures of kids' feet. I don't care who this is right here, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. I do not care who this is. I'm going to capture this. I want to go back to the picture. Yes. Now this is the photo that creeps me out. This is what I'm looking for, guys. I found the girl, some feet that looks like kids, and then I find a picture where you can even see it in the picture from here. Bright yellow. I mean, it doesn't get any brighter yellow than that. Taking pictures of kids' feet. Okay, what do we got here? Nothing. Let's see what this is. You guys can read it while I look for. Wait, why is my microphone off? Damn it. When you don't have people actually watching you live, you don't have someone to tell you, hey, you unplugged your microphone by accident. Okay, so, let's see here. Why do I keep doing this? Alright, so we got this picture right here. Read it. Go ahead and try and read that, and I'll be there in a second. Now, one thing I do know is that since I do have my air conditioner on here, that when I hit the mute button on the microphone and then it came back on, you probably heard. Chris told me that you hear the air conditioner come back, but you know what? I got a microphone that is not compatible with my computer, so I'm actually lucky. She actually said this in front of everyone. How long is this? 3 minutes? All right, this is Doug in Exile. Let's watch. I'm going to share this tab instead. Let's see what Doug in Exile has to say. Let me also make sure. Okay.
Tim Scott is going to be the vice president pick. People said, oh, I wish it was Trump would pick DeSantis. Trump is not going to pick DeSantis.
Nope.
DeSantis would never pick Trump. Both would pick Tim Scott. Watch him on The View.
Head of the Highway Patrol for South Carolina is African American.
Tim Scott's great.
In 1975, there was about 15% unemployment in the African American community. For the first time in the history of the country, it's under 5%.
40% homelessness.
And
I just want to show you what he's doing right now. He just gave a list of facts to Sonny Hostin on The View. Evidence that America is doing better with race.
Sonny
She is just coming up with her typical, but over here, there's still rich people.
because he believed that having faith in God, faith in himself, and faith in what the future could hold for his kids would unleash opportunities in ways that you cannot imagine.
There is not a more positive love letter to America.
And for us to
So
suggest—
America has met its promise.
No, of course, the concept of America is that we are going to become
They're
a more
witches.
perfect union.
The philosophy of it's going to be, we're going to be a more perfect union, not a perfect union, but a more. And of course, America has distance to go on race. Both blacks, whites, Hispanics.
Did I pause him?
Everyone has to work on it.
And here's the way that you measure that. When my mother was born, about 10% of African Americans got a high school degree, diploma. Today, it's over 90%.
Once again, he's just hammering them with facts.
The Republicans have these issues. So
Yeah, I think humans have these issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue of discrimination that I have faced, I assume you face as well, is an issue of the heart. It's not Republicans or Democrats. Frankly, both sides of the aisle can
Most
do better
Democrats.
job on the issue of race. And frankly, my side of the aisle, I think, is doing a fabulous job of making progress.
He's not saying Republicans are perfect. He's only saying that we have great progress.
So the truth of the matter is that when you look at progress in the Senate, especially from the
You
Republican side,
see how he turns his body and talks to them?
On the Republican side,
He's telling them, I know better than you. Look at them holding each other. I'm sorry, I am.
But you only one black senator out of 50.
We're talking
Okay,
about
okay.
There's only two on the other side.
Okay.
Frankly, you face as well is an issue of the heart.
Yes, it is an issue of the heart. Okay, now, before I end this, I just want to say this. When you look at this man, Tim Scott, now, obviously, everyone knows that I support President Trump, and Tim Scott is great. For president, if Donald Trump was not running, I believe, in my... It's hard to say. If there was I don't know what I would do if there was. It would depend if there was a primary between Tim Scott and DeSantis. But running against Donald Trump is a waste of your money and time, because everyone with a brain knows that Donald Trump already did his 4 years of getting slammed and not getting any. Well, he got a lot done while they were trying to block every. If he said I got to sneeze, they were trying to take the pepper away. That's what was going on, and he still did a lot. I mean, the dude. I'm not going to get into the list because I do have a prior what do you call it? A prior engagement where I'm supposed to have this discussion with a friend on his channel. But listen, Donald Trump did not have to be the president. He did not have to run. Now, some people said he was running it as it was as a joke. He doesn't joke like this. Donald Trump is not a jokester. Okay, he didn't come down the thing and say, "I'm gonna run for president because this is a fun thing for me to do." you know, I'm New Yorker, and all these hypocritical New Yorkers who loved Donald Trump until 2015. I hope you hear this. 2015. All of a sudden, do a 180 and pretend they don't know nothing. But the thing is, you can't wipe history as much as they do, and they try. You can't wipe it all because a lot of people don't want you to. So they're saving everything. And of course, immediately, you're not going to see it on the mainstream media, but if you weren't watching CNN or Fox or any of those channels for that matter, if you were listening to people like me online who do the research for you, or for, you know, for anyone who's watching, do the deep dive and look into the rationale, the reason for everything that's said and done. And I did that for 4 years with with President Trump. I say Mr. Trump because I have previous experience with Donald Trump. My uncle is still, but was and has been since the 80s, President Trump's personal locksmith for New York, in New York. So, you know, I've had dealings over in the past. My family knows him, and he's treated my family very well. We know also my aunt, who is the wife of my uncle who works for him, is not white. Okay, he knows her. He sends her gifts. He, you know, for her birthday, for their anniversary, for everything, and he always directs it to her first. But he's a racist? I mean, come on. He's got people up in Trump Tower living for free. Black and Hispanic homeless people who squatted in the rooms. And then when he found out, instead of throwing them out, he said, bring them 3 meals a day, furnish the apartment, and leave them alone. Give them a key. I mean, they don't want to hear those stories. And obviously, I mean, why would they want people to hear those stories? But those are great stories. Now, the point I'm getting at before I end this is, for 4 years, Donald Trump was lied on, and I'm talking in oh, it's the, you know what it is? It's that background I got going that's making this look. I'm like, I keep thinking this goes off. Okay. Donald Trump took abuse for 4 years for the American people, and no matter what they did, they brought COVID on us. You know that COVID was brought on us. You know it didn't just sail its way in. You know that. Anyone who's got common sense knows. Should I show you this? I don't even know if you're aware. If you're aware of the bubble wrap, the CV-19 bubble wrap incidents, then you do dive as deep as me. If you don't know what that is, give me a comment and I'll respond. I'll even make a video on it and show you what they did. But it's disgusting. It's killed a lot of people. But then again, we have to be real. Pre-existing conditions, COVID exacerbates them, and deaths were caused by someone who has a bad heart, who got COVID. They weren't treating the person properly, and their heart failed because of that, but then they called it a COVID death. You know, that's NOT true. So you know, so for 4 years, he got beaten down, blocked at every turn by his own side and the opposite side. Okay. Now, in the last 4 years, after the erection was swollen from him, blatantly, clearly, openly, I said that in Dinesh D'Souza earlier for a reason, because 2,000 mules is more than enough proof that that election should have been redone. It should have been canceled and redone. Okay, they should have waited. And I know they didn't want Donald Trump to be their president. So you know what? At that point, you take Mike Pence and you make him the interim president until a new election can be done. Okay? And now Mike Pence is running and he's already made a blunder. If you vote for Mike Pence, don't watch my videos. He's a traitor. We got a couple of traitors in this world. One of them is Barack Obama. Barry Soetoro, whatever you want to call him. He's got many names. Try and look into his history of his life. It's very confusing and here, there, and everywhere, but there's really nothing here, there, or anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? It's a very sketchy Manchurian Candidate kind of thing when you try and look into that. Yeah, so Donald Trump was beaten up and attacked for 4 years. And if Ron DeSantis and Tim Scott don't understand that he needs to get back in and finish what he wanted to do with this country, which helps anyone who supports DeSantis and Tim Scott, these things are good for. All the great things that Trump wanted to do that weren't able to be done, he's going to do. And also, he's not coming in there because he didn't know what was coming when he got elected, because, of course, he's not a politician. He wasn't aware that these polls are fake. Maybe he was. I don't know. But the polls mean nothing. That it seemed that he knew he was going to win, actually. But now he knows, all right, now I got to play dirty too. And I hope he does. Because if somehow these Californian, I think at first California people were leaving and they were coming to Texas to get away from California, right? Now, because this is how Democrats think, I believe they're paying people to move to Texas so they can be voting for these nut jobs and they can take Texas. And once they take Texas, then we'll never see a Republican president again. So I think what the plan is to ship those people to Texas or get them a permanent address in Texas. A lot of these West Coast, Oregon, Washington, Californian people, they're all coming to Texas all of a sudden. But they're not. It doesn't seem like they're coming for the freedom that Texas brings them to get away from the tyranny that they live in. It seems like they're coming to bring the tyranny with them. So if you live in Texas and you see this and you have a neighbor that just moved in from California, don't say anything, but grill them a little bit. See what's going on. Ask them why they moved. Ask them this, ask them that. So the point is, because I keep saying that, but I really got to go because my dog is probably up looking to go outside. Donald Trump deserves to be back in that White House and get his revenge, okay? Now, I'm not saying I want a president to take a 4-year term to get revenge. That's not a reason to vote for a president. When I say revenge is, he wants to come in and save our country. And his revenge is going to be, okay, you screwed me because I was ruining your plan of destroying the country. You screwed me once, but I'm coming back in, and you're not going to screw me twice. So if DeSantis and Tim Scott can't understand that they're much younger, Donald Trump does not have, he's not going to be running in 2028. I hope not, at least. He's an older man, and I want him to relax and chill, just like Joe Biden should be doing. He should be home with his family. He shouldn't be out. They shouldn't, this is elder abuse on this man at this point. But Donald, regarding DeSantis and Tim Scott, you got 4 years. Wait, let Trump get in, show everybody, which he already showed. But now without, they already hinted at us that there's another pandemic on the way. That, well, I guarantee it only comes if Trump wins the presidency. Watch, if somehow Democrats win, because they should not win. They are a very, very, the one thing the mainstream media does, and even the internet, is make it seem like they have all these people supporting them. And then, of course, we find out that most of the people are, they pay for their followers and they pay for likes and all that stuff. When the best thing was when Elon Musk came around for Twitter and he changed things, all of a sudden you saw those resist accounts that were getting, thousands of retweets and likes. Within a day, all of a sudden their posts were getting 2 and 10 likes and 2 retweets. So it proved that these were fake, that these numbers were fake, and that that Twitter was complicit with that. So, which was why it isn't the only reason, but it is a huge reason why many of them were fired, because they were not working. They had no reason to be there. They had 10 people working as a supervisor for one person, one coder. So one guy at a computer had 10 bosses who got paid to go walking around a building, playing in the ball pit, going down the slide with the Hamburglar, like literally being children, while a smart, educated man is doing hard work. He has 10 bosses who just drink lattes from their special latte service that they get. It's so funny, all the people who put up those stupid videos. My day at working at Twitter, and not 1 minute was involved or any work whatsoever. You could tell that if you asked the person, what is your job? They wouldn't have an answer. So anyway, in the end, we, of course, will finish watching Tim Scott talk here. But like I said, Tim Scott, Ron DeSantis, wait till 2028. You guys can fight it out then. Either one of you will be great. I could see 16 straight years of Tim Scott and Ron DeSantis. 2 of both. They can go. No, they can't. It's got to be 1 for 4. No, 1 for 8, and the other 1 for 8. Not 4, 4, 4, 4. That's stupid. That doesn't make sense. But they should start working together now on a plan on how they're going to debate each other without putting each other down, so they can get themselves in the primaries. Not against Donald Trump, though. I'm talking about in the future. So where they can get into their debates with the other people running, Chris Christie and whoever else. Who cares? They're all irrelevant. The only relevant people are the most irrelevant people right now. The most relevant, of course, President Trump, and then of course you got DeSantis, and Tim Scott's number 2 in my opinion, and then DeSantis, because I don't like the way DeSantis is. He kind of outed himself as someone who might not want to fight back. He might just kind of fall back and just go with their flow instead of fight back. I don't think Tim Scott would do that, so I believe Tim Scott deserves the first chance at the presidency before Ron DeSantis, because I'm pretty sure in the future Ron DeSantis has plenty of time. he will be the president at some point in the future. Ron DeSantis, believe that. But I think that after Trump is done, I hope Trump says, hey, I hope Trump brings Tim Scott on. I think once Tim Scott gets, because what's going to happen is Tim Scott's going to get knocked out and it's going to go DeSantis versus Trump. And I hope Trump takes Tim Scott on as his vice. So then when the transfer over of power after Trump leaves, after his 4 years. So now what you got now is you got 4 years of Trump. Then he's got 4 years of also Tim Scott as his vice. Then you got hopefully 8 years of Tim Scott. So now you got 12 straight years of Tim Scott. That's a lot of Tim Scott. He's great. And then at that time, Ron DeSantis still isn't an old man. And he can run and take, and then he can take Scott. Scott will gladly, unless he does some weird shit, Tim Scott will gladly endorse him. Anyway, this video is an hour long. Who the hell is gonna watch this fucking video? God damn me. But let's just watch what he says, and then I'm gonna get out of here. So
it's not Republicans or Democrats. Frankly, both sides of the aisle can do a better job on the issue of race. And frankly, my side of the aisle, I think, is doing a fabulous job of making progress.
He's not saying Republicans are perfect. He's only saying that we have great progress.
So the truth of the matter is that when you look at progress in the Senate, especially from the Republican side, African-American chiefs of staff on the Republican side, the only African-American female chief of staff was mine. The current only Hispanic chief of staff, who happens to be female, is mine.
But only one black senator out of 50.
We're talking about progress.
Right.
So there's only two on the other side.
Look at Sonny doing her job. There's only one. He's going, look, well, the Democrats only have two. Is that the big, amazing accomplishment that you have two senators, one of them being Cory Booker?
So the truth is that when you measure success and progress in this nation, one of the things you have to do is
Cory Booker stole $6 million given to the city of Newark for education from Mark Zuckerberg. Cory Booker pocketed that money.
Look at the statistical realities. We brought African-American unemployment, when we cut the taxes, down to the lowest level in the history of this country.
We saw billionaires a huge tax cut, and that didn't trickle down to the working people.
Well, let's take
low, and Sonny goes, but there's still billionaires out there. That was easy. If you think Tim Scott would make a great vice president, let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up. I'm Doug in exile.
All right. Doug's cool. But thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna end the broadcast, and I will smell you later, Bart. Smell you later forever.